There we go. Yeah.
Woo. All right.
Yay.
All right.
Yes, we did it. There's so many of us on board right now. Oh my gosh. This is the most people that I've ever hosted on a live stream before. Thank you all for joining us. We're about to launch our new Kickstarter, Less Than Secret, a Cryptid Comic Anthology. I'm joined by so many peeps here. Everybody say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Probably like one person got through on that, but cool.
No. I'm pretty sure everybody came through. I heard the chorus of hellos. Yeah, but yeah, so I'm joined by, let's see, we got Andrew Small and Raynor and Arian and JD and Ben and Ian and Jess and Angela. So many of us here. How y'all doing today? Just give like a noise as to your status, like.
Hey.
It looks like you're all a bunch of. It looks like you're all a bunch of robot masters, and I have to pick which one to fight next.
It kind of does.
I don't know. I think to me it looks like the Brady Bunch.
It's a very Mega Man-esque layout. I dig it.
Mega Man Bunch.
The Mega Man bunch. Yes.
That is right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Jessica's here. Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Oh, she's one of our super fans. We're happy to see you here, Jessica. But yes, we're here to celebrate the launch of Less Than Secret, a Cryptid Comic Anthology. I'm gonna get the banner up for that. Are we ready to like officially launch it?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get this up. Boom. We're about to hit the button. Launch. It's thinking.
Hey!
And there we go! The Kickstarter is now officially open and ready for backers.
And now the real panicking begins.
Yeah.
Now there's a 0.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, we just launched. That's fine.
We just launched.
Yeah, we just hit the button.
Give it a few minutes.
Yeah.
Just panic and hit refresh like 47 times.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Whoops. There we
Actually,
go.
We'll just keep rotating.
Is it bad form to donate to your own Kickstarter? Because I just want to do that right now and get it out of the way.
I mean, you can if you want. We're still giving you stuff.
I mean, I may as well. Yeah, why not?
They're like priming the pump, right? It's just...
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. You're a new face. A new face to me. If you're a CCS kid, I do not know you.
No, Sarah's one of my undergrad friends. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. For folks who may not be in the know, most of these folks know each other through the Center for Cartoon Studies, or CCS. I think JD and I are like the only exceptions to that rule.
No.
Is that
Andrew and Ian also.
Yep.
Yeah, it's about half and half.
cool? Okay. I was under the impression that like everybody had gone to CCS.
No.
And I'm just like over here, like, shoo.
Nope.
It's about 50-50.
Okay. Okay, it's a good even split.
Yeah. Big chunk of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Were you all like in the same year?
No.
No, actually.
We have a slur.
3 years?
Yeah,
We've
3
got-
years apart. Angela and
Yeah.
I were in the same class, and Jess, Ariane, and Raynor were all in a class 3 years behind us. Is that it?
Yeah.
I was a super senior after I graduated, so that's how I got to know him.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I get that.
Playing D&D and Pathfinder together. That's
Yes.
how I made all my best friends.
I mean, how else are you going to do it?
Exactly.
3/5 of my Dungeons and Dragons group are here.
Oh, my good buddy Carlos is here. Hi, Los. He's like another super supporter. Like he and I go back as far as like even before AwesomeCon. Have any of you ever been to AwesomeCon in Washington D.C.?
No.
I do recommend it. It's a pop culture con, so it's like on the larger side, but it's really, really cool. But I was there in 2018, back when they had that Pride Alley for LGBTQ creators, which was pretty cool. But that was also the year that I think it was Phil Hartman was one of the guests. So like everybody was coming to go and see him. But I was placed at just the right point where folks who wanted to go see the celebrities would have to pass by my table. So they would like see my stuff and then they'd be like, oh, I'm definitely going to come back to this. And then they would leave and then they would circle back around to check out my stuff again.
Nice.
Right on.
Nice.
Yep. Oh, Jessica pledged. Thank you, Jessica.
Oh.
Told you she's a
Appreciate
super
you.
backer.
Yes.
Yes.
I just want to say it's very funny that I just got 2 emails. One by the Kickstarter you're running is launched, and second, so go support the Kickstarter Ben made. Like, I could give money to myself.
You could.
But
I know some folks who do that. I'm not going to name names.
I thought I might.
We're doing this under my Kickstarter account solely because I have previous campaigns under my belt.
Yep.
Raynor and I, this project was a 50-50 thing. Like, he and I were the organizers. Everyone else also.
Ben,
high five.
high five.
Oh, wait,
Don't
other way.
leave.
Got
Don't
it.
leave Raynor hanging. Jeez.
Yes, sorry. But yeah, like everyone's done a ton of work on this. But you know, top of the pyramid is the 2 of us.
Yes.
So
Yes, Ben and Raynor were the organizers. Everybody contributed a short story to it. I, in my fog of cold, because I'm still recovering from a cold, I thought there were 8 stories, but there are 7. So,
Yes.
but still, that's 7 cryptid stories all in one book.
They're also
Plus bonus content.
They're also good. Like, oh my god, I can't say enough. They range wildly in tone and genre. Like, there is something here for literally everyone. It is absolutely insane. Like, I had not really deep read all the stories until the first PDF, until we made the PDF. By the way, books, like, we are all good.
Yep.
And I read through it and I was just like, oh my god, how do we organize this? How that happened?
I know,
when did
because
this book happen?
we have like a couple of mysteries. We have like a slice of life comedy. We've got a straight up comedy. We got a horror. We got so many
dark comedy horror.
Yeah.
You name it, we got it.
yeah,
I love it though.
It was really funny when we were figuring out the order of it because I went through the book and I realized that Raynor and I are the only ones who kind of went the horror route. And I was like, oh, wow, that's actually awesome.
I mean, if you squint at mine, it could be horror.
Yeah.
Well, there's also Ian and Andrews. That one kind of has. That's the one I was thinking of as the dark comedy horror.
Yeah.
It depends on which perspective you're reading that story
exactly.
from.
Yep. That's the one with like catfished by a werewolf person. I think it was
A dog person.
dog person.
Yeah.
Dog person, yeah.
Which great title, by the way.
Yes.
That was like a 1 in the morning. I'm like, that sounds good. Let's go with that.
Oh, hey, Raynor, Jessica mentioned she's in the Portland area.
Oh, hey!
Oh!
Nice.
Waves.
Yeah. Jessica, at some point, I'm going to be visiting Raynor and Ariane in Portland, and when I do, I'm going to try to look you up if you're okay with that.
I mean, we got to show love to our super backers.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, and I know Jessica's not the only super backer. Like, I've worked with Carlos a couple of different times. He was actually my table assistant at Awesome Con. He's really cool. He also introduced me to the world of wrestling. Like now I understand what this means. And like this. Okay, Carlos, you know the name of this guy, the professional wrestler who was like touted back in the day as like the next big heel, but his costume is basically just a cape and a glitterified stormtrooper helmet. Like. I'm serious. It's a stormtrooper helmet covered in rhinestones.
Oh, Shockmaster.
That's it.
Amazing.
Yeah, JD knows what I'm talking about.
JD buzzed right in.
JD, the MVP.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous of that costume, and I wish I was wearing it right now.
You're not? All I have to do is stand up, and you'll see. That's not happening, though.
The next time that all of us are on a stream together, we should dress up in professional wrestling suits, or even better, because I know Carlos is involved with Super Art Fight. We could totally come up with our own professional wrestler costumes. For folks who have no idea, Super Art Fight is professional wrestling meets Pictionary. It's a bunch of artists who get into super like professional wrestling costumes, and they just have a draw off on a big canvas. They moved virtually, so you can like watch live streams of this on their Twitch channel. Carlos, plug that Twitch channel in the chat, because I don't remember the link off the top of my head. But I love it. One of the wrestlers is Baron von Sexyful, and he has these like Kanye like band glasses. He's like absolutely delightful. I love him to pieces. He's one of my favorites. Like it's just that we could totally do something like that if we wanted to. Just professional wrestling costumes. Come up with our own wrestling names. Because I know we talked about we do have more live streams coming up in the next couple weeks. Yeah.
We're going to be doing live streams on, at the very least, like nobody else has a channel I don't know about, right? Because Kelsey and I are both going to be doing streams on our channels.
Yes. This is not the only one, folks.
On my channel, it's mostly, actually, you know what? Like, Kelsey, say what you'll be doing, because your channel is going to be the main thing for the Kickstarter.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing individual interviews with everybody here on the screen on Thursdays and Saturdays throughout the month of April. Still coordinating the schedule for that, but I'm getting it together, and I'll keep y'all posted as to what the schedule exactly is in the coming days. That goes for you, the artists, as well as you, the viewers watching. But yeah, still getting that together. But I do want to interview everybody here, because I know that I want to ask y'all about the stories that you worked on.
Ian and I, are we doing that together? Being that, because he wrote, I did the art.
You could totally do it together if you want to. I am not picky.
Will you go with me, Ian?
Absolutely. We want to sit in a room like socially distanced and just be there together.
I feel like we just watched
the look different, but every now and then you pop into my screen.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like I just saw a promposal there.
I said yes.
No, my poster's in the other room. I forgot to grab it.
Yep. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, I know Carlos is super excited about more streams because he's posted in the chat. I love it.
In addition to that, just as part of, well, first off, trying to get me back in the habit of doing streams regularly, because I've been bad about that. I am going to be doing art streams on the BWH Comics YouTube channel every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And because it is, from what I understand, peripherally cryptid related, I'm also doing a Let's Play on the BWH Comics Twitch channel of Until Dawn at 7 p.m. every Tuesday and Friday for the entire month of April. So let's do this.
And folks, we're going to make him play it Until Dawn every day. 24 hours.
This actually came
I saw
up.
that pop up, just this playing Until Dawn. I'm like, really? Or is that the game?
Oh my god, that game.
That game.
That's
the
quite
game
a
is called
game.
The game is called Until Dawn.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with why it is that you're playing this game. Do you not know what the pitch is for it, Ben?
I know a little bit. I've known I was going to play it forever, so I kind of avoided it. But
okay, I'm not going to spoil it for you then. But yeah, it fits well with the theme of the anthology. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Nice.
I started it last night, so there's some replay stuff on the channel now. It is. I'm so far having an absolute blast with it. This is exactly my type of horror game. I keep watching this. Wait, like, come on! I want all these people to die. Hurry up!
Okay, so you're probably the comp controller in Cabin in the Woods. Like, I'm not too familiar with Cabin in the Woods, but I'm familiar enough with the premise of it that I'm like, yeah, you sound like a comp controller for that scenario.
I'm Bradley Whitford. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be Josh Lyman.
Yeah.
There's worse people to be.
That's for 3 of you. Anyway, yeah, we should probably talk a little bit about we're just going to be full interviews later, but maybe a little bit.
We're not just like bull crapping around or anything.
Yeah, we can bull crap around too.
Oh, there's stuff to do?
I don't know. You're running this thing. I'm sorry.
Things?
So launching a Kickstarter makes you kind of a manic control freak sometimes, and I'm trying to tone that down a little bit.
Oh no, I totally get you.
I'm just like, what's happening? How are there already $287 in there? Oh my god.
Oh, are there? Seriously?
Yeah, I'm just like, you're in the hyperware, and I'm just like,
that
what?
means we're doing something right. We're like,
Yes.
10%.
It's more than 10%.
Oh yeah,
Almost
we're
20%.
Yeah, for the first goal.
For the first goal.
Awesome.
Second goal, it's 10%.
Yes. And just a reminder to those watching, we are trying to get as many stretch goals as we can so we can pay people more. Yay!
Hey!
Yeah, like that's the main perk of the stretch goals. We're actually pretty much every $1,000 we can tack on to this Kickstarter, we get to pay everybody $5 a page more. So that's $60 each time because each one was a 12-page story.
Yes.
And that is pretty cool.
Yeah,
also we get to print a lot more books, which is nice.
Yes.
That too. Yep. But yeah, Ben, I totally feel you about like, oh my gosh, I'm running a Kickstarter and I need to get in charge of all of the details because I just wrapped up my own Kickstarter for The Legend of Jamie Roberts, Volume 1, which it's wrapped. We ended it with 59 backers and over $2,000 raised, and 14 books are going to libraries across the United States.
Nice.
Yes, I'm
That's
so
neat.
excited. Yeah.
That is neat.
I'm so happy. Still
I
getting
love that
everything
concept.
together.
I love that concept of being able to get books to libraries that way.
Yes.
That is cool.
We're kind of doing that here where so Kickstarter recently added an add-on system that we're playing with.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main things we put in there is you can actually get extra copies of the book if you want to give it to a friend or donate it to your local library or things like that. So that option should be in there if you're interested in that when you're backing.
Yeah.
Get it in your library.
Yes.
Make us cement it in time for the rest of time. Woo!
I don't think Raynor's heard of the Library of Alexandria. Anyway.
No, I haven't. What is it? Okay.
Oh, goodness. Oh, my gosh. Okay. I had a question, and then it slipped.
Oh, no.
Never mind. The question just got derailed.
Oh, no.
It happens.
Should we go in a circle and say what everyone's comics is and who they are?
We could.
Be fun? All right.
Let's start with you, Raynor.
Yeah. So my name is Raynor Cannonstein. I'm one of the 2 people who organized this fantastic anthology. You get it? My comic is called Demons in Dover, and it is about the Dover Demon. It's a fun little spook fest with a lot of suspense, and I really like it, y'all. But yeah, if you like some creeps, you like some Dover demons, you like some woods of Massachusetts, this comic's for you.
That was my son's favorite one, was yours.
Oh,
Yeah, he liked that one the best.
oh, that means a lot.
Yeah.
I'm now horrified that your son might have read mine.
Yeah, he read all of them. Like we don't just like, hey, here's gore and scary things, but we don't like shelter them too much.
Right.
And I had read through the stories, I knew what they were, so I let him read them. And Raynor's was his favorite.
Oh,
Good.
cool.
Incidentally, after we do artist introductions, we should talk a little bit more about our cryptids and why we chose them.
Ooh, good idea. Cool.
Yeah. So, next to Raynor is Branson.
Yeah, so I just did the art for Ian's story. So Ian and I, we've known each other for quite a few years, used to work together and everything. And then Ben actually reached out to us, asked if we wanted to take part in this. So Ian did the story. I'll let you talk about it more, of course, but he wrote the story, storyboarded it. And then I just illustrated everything. So it was really fun. It was really neat.
It's amazing art. You say like I just did. I'm like, no, it's amazing. It's fantastic. I love it.
Well, thank you. But yeah, it was fun. Most of my art, like I do like digital paintings. So getting into the whole comic and storylining thing, it was definitely out of my comfort zone. But that's the kind of stuff that I live for, expanding that comfort circle and learning new things. And after doing this, like I'm already ready to do something else. Like I want to do another one. I want to figure out another thing to do. And
heck yeah.
It's been a really fun, really neat experience for me, for sure.
So making comics is like making or eating potato chips.
Yep.
It very much is. I read the Kickstarter page over. Ransom, is this your first ever comic that you've ever gotten published?
That's the first anything I've ever gotten published. Yeah.
Woo. Yeah, we got a first. So many firsts with this campaign.
Yep. No, it's been really neat. It's been really surreal. I mean, I've done a few commissions and stuff, so I can technically say I've been paid for art before, but nothing like this. So this has been a really neat experience for me.
Awesome.
So, funny story, by the way, Andrew, you said that I reached out to you. Here's what's really interesting. I've known Ian since college. Like, he was, like we've been incredibly close since college. I've been talking about doing comics together forever, and it just hasn't happened yet, just because I've been bad. But and I met Andrew through Ian. And the thing that's funny is, like, over the summer while we were getting this Kickstarter rolling, I got messaged independently by each of them saying, "You guys, do you want to collaborate on anything? Because I'm going stir crazy in my house right now." Basically, and I just thought, wait a minute, I'm doing an anthology, and you two know each other. I got to make this happen. Like, so, you guys actually were at first, like, you guys took the first step, and that's one of the things that all creators need to know. Like, you got to be able to do that kind of thing.
Yes. Also, speaking of Ian, how about we have Ian go next?
Cool. Sure. So yeah, like Ben said, I reached out and I was like, "Hey, I want to do something." And he goes, "You should call Andrew because he was just saying the same thing. We're doing this anthology." And so Ben filled me in on what the basis was. I think I wrote the first draft that night in about an hour, and I was like, let's do this. And I just asked him, I said, what's already taken for cryptids? What can't we do? What are we allowed to do? And honestly, I came up with the second to last page before anything else. Was like, that would be a great ending for a story. Let's just write towards that. And then that was pretty much it. So, I don't know, like, Ben or Andrew said, he and I have known each other for, God, I want to say 10 years now.
It's been, better part of a decade, if not more.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. And so, first day working together, we both pulled out our wallets, and I had a Flash wallet and he had a Batman wallet. We're like, we're going to be best friends.
You pull out your wallets and instantly you're in love. the true love language of artists.
Fight the whole thing.
So, Ian, is this your first published story too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, another first. Woo. That's awesome. All right, Ariane, you are next.
Hi, I'm Ariane McCrae. My comic is called Creepy Crawler, and it's about the Fresno Nightcrawler, which is literally like a baseball that someone tied pants to. Like, that's what it looks like in like all of the footage of it. It's like, okay. And mine definitely has more of like a comedy bent. I definitely went down the sort of silly, funny, just because the idea of a cryptid that is literally a ball with legs is hilarious to me. So, yeah,
it's very Monsters Inc. vibe.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's very true.
Mhm.
You also probably have the award for most cryptids because
Yeah.
a bunch of other cryptids cameo in yours.
When I found out that like we didn't have a dedicated story that was just for like the Loch Ness Monster or just for Bigfoot, I decided to put like Nessie and Bigfoot and a couple of other cryptids as like background characters in the back of the story. So there isn't a dedicated comic that's like all about Bigfoot, but hey, at least he shows up.
Right.
Nice.
Okay.
Ben, you
Doing
were
it.
next.
Hi, I'm Ben Wright Human, cartoonist extraordinaire, and I am one of the organizers. I also did the story A Mother's Love, which features the Chupacabra. It's a fantasy Western story. I've actually been working on a D&D setting that is more gun focused and is kind of like a fantasy Western. And I decided this would be fun to test things out since I've actually already been standing the Chupacabra for the game. And this was basically the ultimate situation for that particular creature. So I decided, hey, go for it. Make a comic. Why not? We're doing cryptid stuff.
But why not, right?
Exactly.
Oh, sorry. Speaking of cryptids, I have to ogle Raynor's cat for a minute.
Ooh, look at the horror.
Look at the horror.
The dreaded tuna of Portland. No.
I love that he's just so chill with you doing that.
Oh yes, he is a very good boy. He's
I
very
mean,
tolerant.
I was going to suggest Stockholm Syndrome at this point.
No.
Like, whatever. He does this all the time.
Did I bring up the cat just so I could have Jessica shout kitty in the comments? Yes, I did.
Thank you. Yes. he
I
is
feel
a
like
very good
Tuna's
boy.
a little bit of a cryptid. Tuna's very large.
Yes, he is not a small cat. I am not good reference because I am 6'6", but he is.
Oh,
big boy.
he's a big boy.
He looks like a normal sized cat on a 6'6" man.
The White River apartment crawler.
Raynor, I had no idea you were that tall.
Yes, I'm extremely tall.
I've only ever seen you in a little rectangle box on my screen. So,
We assumed you were like 8 inches tall, and that was it.
So yeah,
I'd
Raynor
step
and
on you
I-
I wrote something, but
Raynor and I are roommates in real life, and I am 5'2". So at some point, we'll have to do both of us like standing together because we won't be able to get both of us in frame.
Accurate.
and then him way up here.
Yeah, or it's like it's set up, and then you pull back and you realize Ariane's sitting on a bunch of books.
Yeah.
The classic.
Raynor's kneeling down, and he's still taller than I am.
All right, time to get
Wait,
the
6
prop
foot
bucket.
6? Did Raynor grow an inch?
I was 6'5.5", and then I did grow half an
Oh my
inch.
god.
I know.
At the rate you're going, you'll probably be 8 foot before you're dead.
Oh, let's not.
The true cryptid. The true cryptid experience.
Let's
I like
not.
I may or may not, during a D&D campaign, have modeled a furball character after Raynor.
Never put that together.
Did you? Wait, I've told you that, right?
Wait, you're talking about the one that was 2 gnomes, right?
Or that you thought was 2 gnomes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
did not gather that was
thought I
based
told
on
you
you.
that.
That's amazing.
Name. I'm
Vardo.
trying to remember. Vardo. Yeah, that was a fun. It's a
All right,
fun short campaign.
Should we do Jess next?
We could do Jess next, yes.
Hi, I'm Jess on Instagram. I am at Skywell Comics. And my story is about the Jersey Devil. I picked the Jersey Devil because I grew up in New Jersey, so it felt like sort of the hometown cryptid. And I feel like people are aware of like the Jersey Devils as like a team, but maybe not the fact that they were named after a cryptid. And my comic is like, I would call it like as I think Kelsey said before, a slice of life comedy about how being an awkward teenager is kind of like being a cryptid.
Can I just say the way that you drew the Jersey Devil is positively adorable, by the way.
It was funny because I also did the video for the Kickstarter, and there's a section in the script that we wrote for it where we refer to the Jersey Devil as terrifying, and I'm like, there is no art here that is
I wrote that explicitly to cause you problems.
did it just to mess with me.
I guess there's one picture where it's just the silhouette from behind of a claw, and that's like the closest you get to it being terrifying.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yes. But still, it's adorable. Almost like Angela's cryptid. Angela, do you want to go next?
Sure. So I'm Angela B Comics on the various social media things. And I did the Elvitritzk, which is German, and don't try to spell it based on how I'm saying it. I did I think it's called a hybrid comic. It's a lot of prose mixed with illustration and comics. Because I'm lightly obsessed with Posey Simmons, who did Cassandra Dark, which is fantastic. Also murder mystery. I did a murder mystery. She does a lot of murderish mysteries. It's a very fun and weird. It's a hard thing to plan for, because you have to know how much text you have and how much illustration room you have, but it was a very fun challenge.
Yeah.
I'd never seen a hybrid like that before, and it turned out so well. I was
thank you.
Like, oh wow.
Yeah.
I am enamored of non-traditional comics right now. I've been playing what's it called? Field Guide to Memory, which is a solo RPG where you play a cryptid researcher, oddly enough, whose mentor has been declared dead, and you have to you write a lot of letters and you write in your field journal, and it's such an immersive way to tell a story. It's so much fun, and I'm trying to bring that more into my comics.
What's that called?
A Field Guide to Memory. I think it should be going for sale soon, if it's not already.
Oh, is it only on demo right now?
I think she was waiting until the Kickstarter had wrapped up. They sent out the PDF, so I think it should be for sale soon, if not already.
Okay, cool.
And then the two creators actually went and did their own. The Last Will and Testament of Gideon Blythe and Amending, which just had a massive Kickstarter. She got like $190,000
wow.
for this solo player. Yeah, I don't expect we'll get there, but
you never know.
Hey, we can hope.
Yeah, we can hope.
With you, the support of the
terrifying.
fan.
It's a terrifying number to me.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. All right, JD.
Okay. Hi, my name's JD, and Kelsey invited me onto this project by leaving the cat flap open one night. And by the time they found me munching on a bowl of Purina cat chow, I was already designing the cover and editing the book. So.
And I figured by that point I might as well reward good behavior. So
it's such a good cover, y'all. Ben, can we live stream the cover? Oh, sorry.
Can we post that here?
We can totally post that here.
Yeah.
Let me get a copy of it open. Funny thing with
Kelsey, you're running this. Does someone who knows how to do that have the capacity to do that?
I mean, I got it up. I can.
Yeah, Ben, if you get your share screen, then I can add it to the stream. That's how this.
Yep.
That's how it's set up right now.
This is dirty. You'll see the rest of my bar, but.
Boom.
Ta-da!
Look at this cover. It's so pretty.
It's so good.
It's so pretty.
Tip for anyone who's looking to do anthologies, by the way, having someone other than the organizers be your editor is a really good idea.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
So much easier.
Yeah. So when Raynor and I were doing this, like part of the reason we've had a few projects we were talking about doing long term, and we realized that some of them would involve anthologies, and neither of us had actually run an anthology before. So we kind of just were like, well, you know what? We've participated in some. We should try doing it to see what we don't know about it. And we were keeping it a little bit bare bones, trying to, we were planning that we were just going to do a little bit of everything. And then Kelsey was like, I have a friend who would be interested in editing work. And we're like, okay, why not? Give it a shot. And it turned out really, really, really well. And we also got a cover artist out of it.
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah. Highly recommend it. It is one less thing you have to be stressed about.
Yes. And also JD is a good editor.
Yes,
Thank you.
that's the other thing. We didn't just randomly bring him on. We read over his stuff, made sure he was qualified.
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Angela in the chat, who is the editor of Werewolves Versus, the anthology I'm usually in. She's the one who she's the one where I get all my cool ideas from.
Nice. Yeah, but JD and I go back a ways. We were both in school together back when we were still in school.
Are we not in school right now? What?
I'm not in school right now. Are you?
I haven't done my homework. Oh no!
There's going to be a pop quiz right at the end of this.
Damn it!
This is what you get for wandering into other people's houses when the cat flaps are still open.
It's your fault for leaving the food out.
I'm not wearing pants. Actually,
love this chat.
So this is my first time using this version of StreamYard. There's an option for uploading a video file. Can we share the Kickstarter video?
Ooh. We can give that a try, sure.
Let me see what happens.
All right. Yeah.
I'm not
while
leaving. I'm just freezing. I'll be right back.
Sure, you're fine.
Talk about him while he's gone.
Oh my god, can you believe what Ian did the other day on Discord? Like, oh my god. I haven't done an introduction yet.
No, you haven't.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, no, I haven't introduced myself yet. So,
who are you?
Oh my gosh! Well, I'm the host of this stream, for one, but also I've known Ben for years. He and I are like convention buddies. That's how we met. But I've been making comics since 2013, and I run my own company, Fantasyville Productions. Right now, the comic that I'm working on, that also had a Kickstarter wrap up, is The Legend of Jamie Roberts. If you like pirates and magic and dragons and desert landscapes, check it out. I have a lot of fun making it. I'm still like in a cold fog, so I'm not at my best pitching self.
Tell us about the
amazing
story
comic.
you did for this anthology.
Yes,
everyone else talked a little bit about their story.
Yeah, so I did A Day in the Life of Mothman, and I picked the Mothman because before I moved into my new neighborhood, I was along the Ohio-West Virginia border, and the Ohio-West Virginia border is like primo territory for Mothman stories. That and the Flatwoods Monster. Those are the two most popular like cryptids. But I didn't want to make a story about the Flatwoods Monster because Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask already referenced it. So I was like, yeah, for
The
folks who
Flatwoods
don't,
Monster was the basis for that cover, by the way.
for the cover of the
The anthology, yeah.
Okay, cool. Also, very good choice, because Flatwoods Monster is very cool, but I wanted to do a story about the Mothman because I like the intrigue of the Mothman. Like, when I was a teenager, I will fully admit to this, I was obsessed with the movie The Mothman Prophecies. My teenage self did not have a bunch of good taste.
Did anyone's teenage self?
No. But I was intrigued with the Mothman enough to be like, oh man, there's so many stories that this could like go in like different directions. And I was like, well, why not this thing? So I made a short story about him.
Ooh. It's a very good story.
Your story is very magical realism.
I was about to say, like, how would you like classify the genre of my story? Because I don't usually think of the genre until like after I make the thing.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, magical realism is definitely sort of the realm I would place it in.
Okay. I like
and you can
fantasy
trust
stuff.
me, I was an English major in undergrad.
So you got a degree in a language that you already spoke.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
I just want to let everyone know and thank everyone that we have reached the third mark at $547.
Oh
Wow.
my god!
Wow.
Oh, that was fast.
So thank
We've
you.
only been up for like 40 minutes.
That's great.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Y'all, thank
How
you
does
so much.
that happen?
The magic of storytelling and
That's
live
so
streams.
cool.
Power
That's
friendship.
not how much I was expecting to make. No,
Don't say that.
Give yourself
Don't say
more
that.
credit,
I'm
dude.
kidding. No. That
Oh,
is
that's
amazing.
so cool.
It's
It is
awesome.
great. Yeah, we are. Man, I'm sorry. It's great seeing that number go up.
Yes,
I'm gonna do a little victory dance.
I've been obsessively reloading it the entire time we've been streaming.
Oh my gosh, don't do that.
Oh, I do the same
Uh,
thing. I get it.
I can't stop. But anyway,
I only stopped because I realized that the video file that for some reason you can't upload MPEG, so I'm trying to very quickly make another version of the video.
Gotcha.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's just
take your
funny
time on
because it's the only thing that stopped me from obsessively refreshing the Kickstarter.
Distracted by something else. Yeah, I've like got it in a background tab, but I have to click over to it so that I can't constantly refresh. I just like
That's
when I
funny.
have a moment.
Ditto.
Yep. Okay. Since we've got artist introductions done, before we get to any video stuff, we can talk a little bit about why we chose the cryptids that we did. I know I talked a little bit about myself and Jess mentioned it a little bit in her pitch. But like Angela, why did you pick a German cryptid of all things?
I specifically was trying to pick the weirdest thing I could find. I like went through the Wikipedia article on cryptids. I went through the entire list. I wrote down all of the ones that interested me, and I did a little more research on each of them. And eventually, the Elvitrisk was just too cute, and I wanted to draw that. Although it has antlers, and that's a pain in the butt to draw. So I ended up making this so that I could pose it however I needed to figure out where those stupid antlers go.
It looks great.
I did not know that you did like modeling stuff like that. That's cool.
Oh yeah, so I also did. I just wrapped up my Kickstarter a couple months ago for Threadbare Memories, and I have a little robot in there called Cobb, and he's kind of weird shaped. So I actually have something similar to this for him as well, so I can figure out where those legs and arms and stuff come out. I dropped it and broke a leg off though.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
So Cobb has a hob.
Yes.
And if you're interested in Angela's modeling, why? For $800. No,
Yes.
no, but our highest Kickstarter reward is the redacted file.
Yes.
And
So
it is so cool.
Yeah.
get your very own cabinet of curiosity of cryptid-related weirdness.
Curated by Angela.
Yes.
Yes, that is something that we are offering. We're offering the curio cabinet, commissions, a whole bunch of cool stuff.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Back it if you can.
So many commissions.
Yeah.
If one of you backs that now, we're basically essentially fully funded. So,
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would be.
No pressure.
hey, I feel that.
Oh yeah,
No.
Jessica's like the 800 reward looks awesome, but my wife would very much not appreciate that.
I understand.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's totally okay.
It's the ridiculous level. That's why it's included.
Yes.
Yeah. You always want to have a Kickstarter with at least one thing on there that's a really high priced item because like
You never know.
you never know. You could have some random like I don't know, Elon Musk shows up and is like, I need one of those.
Might block that
Okay,
one.
sure.
Might block that one, but we'll see.
Oh goodness.
I mean, frankly, I would take his money if he's giving it to me.
Hey,
Like,
that's fair.
I was thinking, pick any other billionaire. Nope, that's the one that came to mind.
Oprah. There we go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, she's
All right.
a little bit more charitable. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to talk
That'd be
about
great.
their
You get a
cryptid-
cryptid cabinet. You get a cryptid cabinet. 5 cryptid cabinets. That's it.
Everyone gets a cryptid cabinet.
5
I'm
of
just
you get
like,
cryptid
stop it,
cabinets.
Oprah! Stop it! I'm making these as fast as I can.
My fingers.
Oh.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, quick question, JD. How come you picked the Flatwoods Monster for the cover?
I was going to do Mothman actually at first because Mothman is in the book, but the Flatwoods Monster I still like because of its gigantic weird eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, something about that, like a character with no mouth telling you, "Shh, don't tell nobody." Something about that I just found very funny.
I
feel
love
that.
it. Yeah. For folks who have no idea what the Flatwoods Monster looks like, if you have ever played Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask and you played the level where you fight against the aliens are just the Flatwoods Monster.
Accurate.
Like, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at Ian because he did not have a good experience with that.
Why are there aliens in my Zelda? Why? Why is that a thing?
The next one should just go fully sci-fi.
It's a franchise with ninjas. Like, it was only a matter of time before aliens made it in there.
it's
Very
got
true.
pirates too. So like ninjas, pirates. All it needs now is robots and aliens, and you've got like the full like nerd.
Dude, the robots were in Breath of the Wild.
Correct.
that's
Yeah,
right.
I didn't think about that.
They're
But
dead.
yeah,
Yeah. It's only a matter of time. Only
What's
a
the
matter
matter
of
with
time.
everything.
cowboys?
Everything.
We need cowboys.
cowboys,
In the game.
Dinosaurs.
I'd imagine.
Well,
dinosaurs. Oh yeah.
Redondos.
There was Zelda Spirit Tracks.
Ooh,
So
that's true.
there are trains in the Legend of
Trains.
Zelda lore.
I don't get
Got-
the reference I'm about to make, but we need a narwhal that bacons at midnight. I don't even know what that means, but I know that's a weird nerdy reference.
I didn't
We-
get that
we
one.
need-
I don't get it
We
either.
need
I
narwhals
don't
doing
either.
what?
This is a thing that was from like apparently the 2000 internet that I never understood. Hopefully, someone in the comments understood what that means. I don't. Anyway,
Did you just like utter a curse and you didn't know what it did?
yes.
Raynor, what are you gonna do if it turns out that that's like a reference to something that's like super problematic, and all of our backers are like, "No, I'm not gonna back
Yeah.
anymore because Raynor referenced this like horrible, racist, misogynist, whatever thing," and you're like, "Oh no!"
You're gonna wake up tomorrow and be 6'7".
It is apparently, I googled it. It's apparently the same thing as the president stole my shoes, or
Oh no!
except for
It's a
Reddit
Tumblr
instead of Tumblr.
reference. Okay.
except for
Oh,
Reddit
that's
instead of Tumblr.
awful. That's awful.
Yeah, that also. Narwhals swimming
Yeah,
in the
I think
ocean
people in the
anymore, and I'll
2000s
get
just like to make
copyrighted.
narwhal jokes. It's like how
This is
everybody
true.
We
made.
did.
It's like how everybody made unicorn jokes until fairly recently.
Oh,
It's
just-
boy.
Animals have a popularity that lasts for a little while.
Charlie the unicorn.
Oh, God.
Charlie the unicorn.
Oh,
Wow.
please don't take me back there.
Let's just make early to mid 2000s internet references for the whole rest of the thing. That's basically cryptids, right? Like
Yes.
That's the true. It's the true
Everyone was a
cryptid experience.
That's our next anthology. Is the Dead Memes anthology.
I call all your
Baby.
base.
Oh, I want to do cheeseburger.
I'm taking Leroy Jenkins, and you will pry that out of my cold dead hands.
Yes.
What's sad is the meme that jumps to mind for me is a fairly modern meme, but it's the lady yelling at the cat. Like that's what I'd want to base mine on because I love that meme.
That's a
I
good
love
one.
that meme too.
Ben, but I expect yours to be like you flip the second page just for Rickroll happening, and that's
Hey.
Oh, wait, no, there has to be like a Rickroll in the end papers or something, but it can't be obvious. Like it's got to be zoomed in on it, and if you put all the end papers together, it's a Rickroll.
It's got to be like the one lift the flap. So you lift the flap, and it's a Rickroll.
It's a flip book in the corner of the book.
I rickrolled everybody on Discord for my my April Fool's Day joke this year. Was in like most of my Discord servers. I changed my name to Rick Astley and my status to Never Gonna Give You Up, and used
fantastic.
my profile pic was Rick Astley. So,
By the way, it got really confusing because Haley did the same thing. But spelled the name differently. I thought about doing the same thing, and I realized no, we won't be able to tell who said what.
No.
That's the point. Speaking of points, does anyone else want to say why they picked their cryptid?
We really went off the rails on that.
I just remembered we were
Welcome
doing
to
that.
live streaming.
Yeah. This is what we do. Oh my god,
I love that. Never gonna give you Zion. That's a good one.
Never gonna give you. Never gonna. Yes.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Which was Dover Demon was really freaking weird, and I had never seen a story with it, and I wanted to do something that freaked me out when I looked at it. And I like weird spindly things. I'm terrified of farm animals and weird spindly things. So, terrified of pigs. Absolutely terrified.
Is that on your own Cryptid page?
Yeah. Maybe it should be. But what was I? So I just wanted to make something that freaks me out, and I don't like the way the Demon of Dover looks. It is uncomfortable.
It's a pretty uncomfortable cryptid.
It's a weird creature.
It is
So I
very
decided
weird.
to make a comment about it and have to draw it a bunch of times.
Have you gotten used to it by this point now that you've had to draw them over and over and over again?
Yes. Though the last page of my comic is quite a freak out still.
Yeah.
If you want to see that freak out.
I think that's why my son liked it. I think it kind of made him like creep out a little bit, and I think that's why he liked it. Like, cause he likes like kind of getting spooked. Like he purposely reads like spooky things, and I think that one got him. I think that's why he liked it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, your story reminded me a lot of like old EC Comics horror stories, which
that's what I was going for.
First off, I love those. If you really like horror and old comics, highly recommend checking them out. They were some of the Golden Age stuff before the Comics Code censored everything. Yep. It's what Tales of the Crypt came from and things like that. Bunch of just very short horror stories that often go really dark places. Andrew, check it before you show it to your kid. But the other thing he might want to look at, because this is the other thing I thought of with Raynor's, is books like Short and Shivery, which were sort of my introduction to horror. Part of me also wants to recommend Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, but that's cruel.
Yeah, that's a little mean. I remember seeing, because my first job ever was being a page in a library, and I would see the cover art for Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and I'm like, oh, this is nightmare fuel. No.
I had that in like third grade. It's great, because my parents were just like, oh, he's reading, it's fine. They were just happy I was reading books.
That's why we're
and then later they're like, how
come
we are? Yeah. It was like, my mom asked me, like, I don't know how you got into horror. Like, how did this happen? I'm like, I was reading this in third grade. And I just showed her some of the spreads, and she's like, oh, well, okay then.
You did this to me, Mom.
I learned from watching you. No, actually, small transition. We are offering commissions as part of the Kickstarter. And the offering that I'm doing is graphite wash stuff, which I started learning because of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. That's he does a variant of that for his art. So if you really like the art from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, check out that tier, because that's basically what I'm creating.
There you go. And it fits with the aesthetic of cryptids.
Yes,
so there you
go. It really
does.
Also, like, no one else does that graphite wash stuff. It's so cool. Like, now
graphite wash is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great effect.
Although, funny thing, I just realized I left my graphic watch at my parents' place in Richmond, so I have to buy more. But that's fine. I need as much as I can get.
Oh,
I love
no.
doing graphite wash.
What a travesty!
mail
You
it
have
for
to
you.
buy more art supplies.
That
Yep.
wasn't on purpose.
Yeah, you
By the
go
way,
back and you have twice as much.
By the way, Rachel, I do kind of agree with you. Rachel in the comment just said, "Don't wreck that one to kids."
Oh yeah, scary stories to tell in the dark. Yeah, no.
Yeah, get it for yourself, read it, and then decide if you want your kids to see it. Because yes, nightmare fuel. Also, try to find one with the original art because they changed it after a while because it was too scary.
They actually started redoing ones with the original art again after the movie came out.
Good, because the original, like, full respect to the second artist, he did a fine job. But Stephen Gamel's, it's some of the best horror art ever made.
Side note, I still really need to watch that movie, but
I didn't even know that it was a movie. Like I don't usually keep tabs on horror films.
Guillermo del Toro made a movie based on the artwork of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Only kind of the stories, but the artwork really is what he was basing it on.
I've seen stills. He got
it
the
looks
feel.
Awesome.
What movie is this?
It's called Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like the most cliche horror plot built into it, but
which is good.
That's fine. The images, that's what you want. Who else is doing commissions, by the way? We should throw that out there. Okay, second question. What commissions are people doing?
Well, I'll go. The thing that I'm offering is drawing cryptids, either like made up ones, or if you have a request for one, I will draw it. But they will be on black paper, drawn in white ink. This is just a sample. Get that a little bit closer. I know that I'm not in full screen, but if you want more details, there's more detail on the Kickstarter page. Because it's a higher resolution on there. But yeah, I do stuff like this. And that's its own backer level. That's what I'm offering. Angela, I know you were offering the curiosity cabinets, and you're doing another one?
Yes, I'm doing a little 4x6 pen and ink and watercolor of an animal or cryptid of your choice. And I don't have a sample with me, except way across the room.
It's okay.
Yeah. But there is a sample image up on the Kickstarter.
You can check out the Kickstarter at the link below on the screen. Yeah. Who else is doing watercolor commissions?
I think that's the only watercolor one, right?
I'm the only traditional color commission.
Okay.
I'm doing something that looks like watercolor, but is actually digital. So my commission, I'm doing a character of your choice in a sort of pseudo watercolor style. It's just a digital file, but it will be a print-friendly digital file. So if you want to print it out for yourself on your own, it will be able for you to do that. But I'm not offering a physical, actual, like printed out version of your file.
Oh yeah, that's an important distinction to note, is like who's offering like physical commissions and who's offering digital ones. Mine's going to be physical.
Physical.
Yep. But by the way, if you're curious because you're not seeing Ariane's immediately, we decided to do the digital ones as add-ons and the physical ones as actual reward tiers. This is in part because the way the add-on system works, it's a little easier. We can actually you can attach a digital commission to anything, even if there's no. If it's physical, it only can be attached to things where shipping's involved.
So you can add one of each digital commission to your order without causing any problems.
Yes, that actually can happen.
You can totally do that. Yeah, because Ariane's not the only digital commission, I don't think.
Nope, mine's digital. I'm doing a digital medallion, basically stained glass medallion. The one for the Kickstarter I made specific for the Kickstarter because the ones that I have like on my Instagram and everything were Disney characters and Pokemon and stuff. So not quite trademark friendly, but made the one for this Kickstarter that you can see on the actual Kickstarter page. And it's a digital file, print friendly, of course, 5x7. So it fits in a regular picture frame kind of a thing. So
Nice.
subject matter is just open to whatever. You want it to be any certain character, I can do it. You want it to be a landscape kind of a thing, I can do it. So really open to whatever anybody would want.
You know what? While I'm thinking about it, what's one of the more odd things that somebody has requested that you draw? For me, I had a Kickstarter backer for a previous campaign who asked me to draw a slice of apple pie.
Nice.
And I was a little like, okay, I'll do it, but that's a little. I expected a person or an animal, but this is new. But I'll draw it.
I did a huge commission. It was like 11 by 17, and I do these silly little bubble characters in pop culture stuff, and it was a Star Trek original series food fight.
Oh my
So
God.
much fun. Yes.
That sounds delightful.
That was a blast.
There's a lot of food-related things happening then. So that
Yeah.
The weirdest one I got was at a con, and because I was doing watercolor commissions at the con. And one of the things that someone said, they were a fan of the SCP Foundation, which is actually very in line with a lot of cryptid stuff. It's basically a fictional organization that works to contain things that go bump in the night. And like categorizes them. Everything you're looking at is like case files that people have written up for it. And there's one, I can't remember the number, but it's special because the case file is all in euphemism, because if the thing knows you're talking about it, you get in trouble. And it's got like this great dark art associated with it. And this guy said, okay, here's what I want. I want you to do a painting of that, but as if it had just put on the power crown. So it is now like the sexy waifu version of that. And I did it. And it was kind of awesome.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What the heck?
By the way, just a quick side note, because I just got a comment on the Kickstarter asking about the mystery bags. Someone asking if there would be comics in them. I think it'd be fair to say yes. We're trying to keep what's going to go in them vague, but there will definitely be comics present in there. We are also talking about throwing in like small prints and stuff like that, just whatever we can get from our creators. We are going to try and keep it a little bit, like I said, it's a mystery. Like that's half the fun of it.
Yeah.
But you will definitely be getting your money's worth on that. I believe it's I think it's $20 or $25. It's going to be a better value than if you were to just like buy those at a con.
Yep.
Yeah, like on an individual level. Like
Exactly.
that's why we put them in a mystery bag.
Yes.
Before we start changing the subject, those SCP things that you were talking, I think that's what you called them, Ben.
Yeah, SCP.
Have you guys ever heard or played the game Control? I just
heard
played
of
it.
this.
Oh my god, it's awesome! I just
platinumed
started.
it.
I
It's
never
amazing.
platinum my games. I don't
Wait
care about
a
trophy.
second. Wait a second. Control. That's the one where you play a lady going into this building called like the Bureau of Control, and it's a haunted house.
It was phenomenal. That game was awesome, and you hunt down these things like this fridge that somebody has to stare at, or it kills you. And so someone's constantly staring, and the guy gets forgotten about. So you have to save him, and that's just a side mission. Like there's a whole storyline. I played through all of it, and I couldn't put it down. It was so good. So good.
If you like that, you will like SCP. Like SCP, I like to think of as good creepypasta, because I have a soft spot for creepypasta, but so many of them are written terribly just because anybody on the internet can write them. SCP is pretty well curated, and it's actually really well written. And if you don't feel like reading them, actually physically reading them, there's a guy, the Vulgan on YouTube is my favorite, who does readings of it, and it's really cool.
Jess is modeling because Jessica asked, Jess, how many books do you have back there?
Many. I guess the secret is that, wait, I'm like backwards. Okay, this half is pretty much all graphic novels and zines, and this half is not books, it's anime DVDs.
I mean, it's still content.
Yeah. And it looks like like from here, it looks like really classy. Like, ooh, look at me. I'm in a library full of books. And then, like, you get back there and it's like Steel Angel Kurumi,
Are you implying that Steel Angel Kurumi is not like worthy of being in a really fancy library?
No, it definitely is, but like probably more like an anime library.
Heck yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Maybe
I've
that's
actually-
our next Kickstarter.
I actually worked, believe it or not, there are such places as pop culture libraries. The old university that JD and I went to has a pop culture library, and I was a librarian there. It's all closed stacks, unfortunately, so you have to know what you're asking for, and then a librarian will go into the closed stacks and get it for you. But the pop culture library had dime novels from the 20s and the 30s. It had the largest collection of Star Trek paraphernalia of any pop culture library.
Nice.
There's also pulp novels, which are kept in a special box because the pulp paper actually degrades if it's exposed to light. So they have to be handled a special way with gloves and everything. It's really cool stuff.
Kind of makes me think of the Billy Ireland Library.
Yeah, very similar to Billy Ireland Library, because Billy Ireland Library is the cartoon library of OSU.
Which, by the way, if you can go in, it's crazy. It's so cool.
It is one of my goals in life to go there. And I also want to go to I think it's the Angoulême Festival in France.
That is one of my goals. I really want to go there.
Yes,
And
I did get to go to Billy Ireland, and I got to look at some original Little Orphan Annie pages.
Ooh,
Very
fun.
cool.
That's very cool.
Ben, when I visited you, we went to the Billy Ireland thing, right? Was that what
Yeah,
that
I
was?
think so. I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, they'll always have different exhibits up. They have the entire Calvin and Hobbes collection.
Yes.
Nice.
That's why I want to go.
When I first visited the Billy Ireland, this is before I moved to Columbus, but I was stopping by to kind of figure out how to do it. I went in and talked to the librarian working in there and was kind of asking questions about, how you get to see stuff. Do you have to place orders? It sounded like I was casing the joint to rob it. But
as you do whenever you go to a closed stack library.
What was great is he was like, by the way, we just have this out in the back. Do you want to see a letter that a young Bill Watterson wrote to Charles Schultz? And I was like, yes, sure. And so he goes in the back, comes back 5 minutes later, shows me that. And first off, it's pretty cool. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It's the other way around. It was Charles Schultz writing to Bill Watterson in response to a fan letter. And he said, not only was that there, but someone else had been looking at this. Take a look. It was the line work for the final Calvin and Hobbes strip.
Ooh.
Oh.
It was, which, first off, this guy's pencils were tight. I just want to say that. But, I don't know how many people actually remember when that final strip went in the newspapers, but it was like a traumatic moment for me because one of my favorite comic series was over, and that was how it ended.
Yeah.
I was like 10, and I was like, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so cool seeing that original line art, being able to. They had it framed, and I was wearing gloves, so it's not like I was manhandling it, but getting to hold that.
Yeah.
Billy Ireland Library, check it out.
Did that help give you a sense of closure when you saw that final?
Yeah. It was. It's funny because I went to. I think that particular comic affected a lot about how I write stories because. Knowing that a story can end was a big deal. Getting to hold that was really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just imagining you trying to steal it under your shirt and walking out.
Yeah. Eileen, I think you were about to say something earlier, or somebody was about to say something, and then.
Yeah. Oh, Ariane, that was you. Sorry. I mildly interrupted you. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about pop culture libraries and stuff, and my undergrad actually, there's a club there called Bellatrix, which is the club's oldest, currently ongoing, continually, has always had members since it started, student organization. It's
Nice.
the Sci-Fi, Fantasy, and Anime Club on the campus, and they have been running a library since the late 60s, or no, might have been early 60s. Long time.
Wow.
Which is entirely student-run, student-owned, and student-organized.
Heck
So I was part of it. I was head librarian for a little while, and they've got some really interesting. They recently, like a couple years ago, moved out of a dank, dingy, moldy basement in the bottom of one of the dorm rooms into a much nicer space.
Good.
And discovered as they were doing it and cataloging all their stuff that they had some like first edition print books of like really famous like sci-fi things. I forget which one it was, but like a couple of them are worth like $1,000 or $2,000 or something like that. And it's like, this was just stuff that was donated by alums of the school, just being like apparently the original library started when one of the seniors graduated and left their books behind for their friends as like, hey, I've been letting you guys borrow all my books since we started. Here, just keep them and share them out with more people. And the library has been like the fundamental mission of that club for a really long time. They have some like they might have gotten damaged in the mold situation, but they had for a really long time a really big run of amazing science fiction, which is one of the like magazines that like Isaac Asimov and Ray Bradbury got published in. So
Yep. Amazing
so cool.
Sci-Fi was the publishing space for a lot of like big name sci-fi authors. So that's really, really cool. Yeah. Also, the origin story of that sounds like a true cryptid experience.
Right. It's been really funny because I'm still involved with people who are still members of the club and hearing them talk about like, oh yeah, we discovered, XYZ, and there's some really interesting stuff in that library, and I'm so glad that they got out of literally a mold infested basement. In the base, like it was a horrible space. It was a horrible space.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm glad they got rescued.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm convinced every person from Mount Holyoke is involved in Bellatrix because I feel like every single time.
Only because all the people from Mount Holyoke you've met have been met through me, and I met all of my friends at Mount Holyoke through Bellatrix.
That's fair. Oh, remember, by the way, I just want to say on the stream, remember how I said I was convinced that we'd get to 550 in the last week? Well, we just got we are only $2 away from 700 now.
Wow, that's great.
Heck yeah.
So we're almost at the halfway point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're
that is
close.
fantastic.
We'll be millionaires by the end of the month.
No, but that is so cool.
It's funny because we've been talking about in Kickstarter math. One of the big things that that happens is if you make goal early enough, it boosts Kickstarter's algorithm. They're actually really good about bringing in people that you don't necessarily know, like advertising through Kickstarter is a big pull, and they'll advertise a lot more depending on how quickly your project reaches base funding. It's part of why we're kind of keeping it at the bare minimum of $1,500 for the first tier. Like that is just enough to pay everybody and print the books. But we were talking about how that's great. Maybe we can do it in a week. We're getting pretty close to doing it in a couple hours. Like that would be nuts.
Good. Hi, Abe. Also, Jessica in the comments says hi, Abe.
I pointed it to him.
One other thing that I want to throw out, just because we're talking about getting it funded early, as part of that, we did make early bird specials.
Yes.
If you look through the tiers, there are a few that only are lasting a week. And what you get if you back that is, in addition to the book, you will get a copy of the poster that we're making of the cover that we showed earlier for a discounted rate.
We can totally show it again for folks who are just joining the stream now.
Yeah, that whole art is sweet.
Also, I just love looking at it.
Yes.
Yeah, JD, when you were posting like your sketches for the cover images and stuff, like I was like, ooh, that one's really good. And then you posted another one. I'm like, dang, that one's even better. And then the final one, and that's the one where it's at. I'm so glad you went with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
You might
good.
notice I have a predilection for the colors black, yellow, and red.
Yes.
Join the club.
Looks
Just
so
a hint
good.
you may have caught.
Good colors.
Yes.
What's funny is the cover. As soon as we got this, I actually did share it with people outside of this circle. We were trying to keep the Kickstarter a little quiet, contrary to what Jessica might say. Jessica said, this Kickstarter was less than secret. But no, it was easy because we pretty much only talked about it in our live streams. And who watches our live streams? But
a lot of people, apparently.
a lot of people, it turns out.
Yeah.
It's gone well. But yeah, we are planning on making posters of this. And if you back the early bird tiers, you can get a book and a discounted poster.
Ooh.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yep. Before I forget, Jess is going to need to leave us pretty soon. I just saw the note, but it's okay. It's okay. You can stick around as long as you need to, but whenever you need to bow out, just let us know.
Sure. Yeah, I've got work later today that I have to prepare for.
That's fair.
Yep. And if
I may have to bow soon as well for tiny humans.
Yes.
Tiny humans
That's fair.
do need things.
if you guys do want to see more of any of these creators, we do have social media information for everyone who has it available
Yes.
on the Kickstarter. And we will be doing longer interviews with each individual team
Yes.
during the course of this. So
Also, if you are watching this on YouTube, I have everybody's social media links in the description of the video on YouTube. Not Twitch. This is simultaneously broadcasting on Twitch and on Ben's Facebook page. But if you're watching this on YouTube, check the description. Everybody's social media links are there.
Follow all of us everywhere.
Follow all of us. Must follow.
Thanks for having me. I'm going to be heading out. Goodbye,
All right, see ya.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Hi, it was good to have you. Thank you for joining us, Jess.
Yeah, I guess I'll be there for whenever our longer interview is. It hasn't yet been scheduled, but
I will
I'll be
schedule it
very
out and I'll
excited
keep
for
you
it.
posted.
Bye.
Bye for now.
Oh, I realized, by the way, earlier, I forgot to say, I'm also doing commissions.
Right, yeah.
I'm
Oh,
doing
yeah.
digital illustration stuff, not watercolor style, more the flat colors. And I'll do whatever, but I especially specialize in monsters designs. If you just give me a quick description of a monster, I can draw it out. And D&D characters, if you want D&D character drawn. But I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
We've got
What-
cat part 2 going on.
Oh, we have another cryptid spotting.
Oh,
Oh, look at that
Funny is-
baby.
We have Tuna and Luna.
Oh, that's funny.
That's so cute. Hi, Luna. Oh my gosh. The most
Look at
chill
you,
cat.
I can't believe you got Luna to put up with that. That is amazing.
She puts up with pretty much anything from me, and then she's like, "I will end you immediately."
Mm. Yeah.
I have that effect on cats.
Yes, you do.
Oh, Bree is the same way with me. I could do anything to Bree, but the minute anybody else tries anything else, she's like, mm-mm, mm-mm.
Cats.
Yep.
Tuna loves most people and hates most other cats.
That's fair.
Tuna's extremely chill. Tuna is the chillest cat I have ever met. Like, just cool with basically everything.
Also, I have to throw this out there. Obligatory kitty from Jessica. Every time. Yes.
Yes. Oh, man. Well,
Okay. I know, Ben, you're working on getting a video up because I can see
You can see
folks
me constantly
watching.
looking to the side, trying to make it happen.
Yeah, well, that, and for folks watching at home, on my control panel, I can see Ben's screen a little bit.
Oh, right. I forgot to turn that off.
Yeah. That's okay. I thought I'd mentioned something.
Yeah. Now, for some reason, exporting it in. So it turns out there are only a couple formats you can show the video in, and for some reason, Adobe Premiere was being annoying. Big surprise.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no, Adobe being annoying. Who would have
Yeah.
seen that coming?
Yeah.
Talk of the day.
I do not
I want a
know.
sponsorship from Adobe.
Oh yeah, but oh no, what are we going to do without an Adobe sponsorship, y'all? I guess we'll just have to keep running our Kickstarter.
I just love the idea of doing an Adobe deal. Like, man, this is so annoying. This is ruining my life. It's costing me tons of money. Well, it's the only thing I've got, so I'll use it. Like, that should be the entire campaign. Wouldn't that be great?
That's the entire ad campaign for Adobe.
Oh, but
Yeah. While I'm thinking about it, what artistic tools did y'all use to draw your cryptid comics?
Photoshop. I also
Clip Studio.
Also Clip Studio.
Clip Studio.
Procreate
Oh my
on
god.
the iPad.
Pen and ink and a
Woo.
piece of paper.
Yep.
Huzzah!
I think knowing Jess also used Clip Studio.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
mine
And
the
I
only
did-
traditional?
Yeah, I think you are.
Wow.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah, like we did have a couple other people who were going to be working on the Kickstarter. I think at least one of them was going to also be traditional, but yeah, no, I think they had to bow out. I think you ended up being the only one traditional. That's kind of cool.
And then all my lettering is done in InDesign.
yeah.
Adobe.
And I did the layout for the whole book altogether, and I did that in InDesign as well. And I say am still currently doing, because it's first draft is done. We got to do, revisions, second and third, et cetera, et cetera.
Ariane is also our book editor, like the layout editor.
Layout
Yes.
editor, design,
I can't remember what title we gave you.
book design. I think I said book designer was what we ended up going with.
Something like that. Matthew in the comments is like, Jon Stewart used to be sponsored by Arby's, and yet all he ever did was talk about how terrible it was. So
All advertising is good advertising. You just need to get in their heads.
Uh-huh.
We'll be sponsored by Adobe. Great.
Yes.
This
only a
brought
matter
to you
of
by
time.
the delicious taste of Coca-Cola. Drink
Yeah.
coffee instead.
Mood.
Yes.
Ben doesn't know it yet, but we've replaced Adobe Photoshop with new Folgers crystals. Let's see if he notices.
That.
I just rewatched the SNL sketch based on that. I don't know if you guys know it, but it's amazing.
There's an SNL sketch based on this?
No, based on the Folgers crystal thing. Like,
Yeah.
for anyone who doesn't know, there was this really old ads where they hidden camera a bunch of people like being given coffee in a restaurant and talking about how good it was, and it turns out it was Folgers instant crystals. And they did an SNL sketch with Chris Farley being the guy who got it, and it's supposed to be an outtake where he drinks it and just freaks out. It's like, you lied to me, and starts beating everybody up. It's really funny.
It's amazing.
That sounds like a
One
Chris
of the best
Farley
things
thing to
ever.
do.
Just
Yeah.
saw the comment from Jessica, by the way. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You are all
you.
incredibly talented. Yes. We try our
also,
best.
The Jon Stewart sponsored by Arby's. I just noticed that's Matt. Hi, Matt.
Yeah, you just now noticed that it was Matthew who made the comment.
I just noticed the name. That's one of our gaming buddies.
Oh,
Ian's and
okay.
mine. Yeah. And one of my patrons.
Yay!
Patreon.com/BWHcomics.
With the Jon Stewart thing, by the way, if anyone's interested on the all advertising is good advertising thing, I highly recommend H Bomber Guy's videos on brands. It's a really good video, and it talks about
Okay.
how modern advertising works.
Is this one of those videos that H Bomber Guy did that's like an hour and a half long?
Yes.
Okay.
Are there any H Bomber Guy videos that aren't an hour and a half long? Like,
That's a legit question.
I don't think I've watched any that are less than like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think very early on in his YouTubing career, he did videos less than 45 minutes, but nowadays it's like, nah.
Like
Yeah.
back when you literally had like a 10-minute time limit and you couldn't upload anything that was. Everyone else remembers that, right? When like
I
you couldn't
remember.
go over 10 minutes because like YouTube would be like, this is too long.
Mhm.
When did
Yeah, I
that
remember that.
change?
That's like 2011 or so. They stopped doing that.
Mhm.
Oh, I just checked actually. His woke brands video was only 26 minutes long.
Wow.
What?
Mind blown.
Oh my gosh.
By the way, we have officially topped $700.
Oh,
We're at 47% funded, and we have been going less than an hour and a half. So this is promising.
how the heck, y'all?
Wow!
How the heck did
Wow!
that happen?
Yes,
That's so exciting!
we're
Looks like
getting
all of
there.
us shilling in the various ways in which we shilled is working. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
ridiculously good working with a group. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
as someone who's done Kickstarters for solo projects, it is absolutely nuts trying to like do all of it yourself and doing all the promotion, all the advertising, because no one likes to advertise themselves.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
pretty sure that I caught a cold because I've been working myself really, really hard between my own Kickstarter. The company that I work with right now, Never Ending, is also running a Kickstarter. And now we got this Kickstarter. And my body's just like, I'm going to lay down and nap, whether you want me to or not.
I feel that.
Yeah. Part of the reason I'm doing the cover and not a piece of art, or not a comic for the anthology, is because I hurt my arm about 9 months ago. So
That's
drawing
legit.
time is limited.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep, I feel that.
Make sure you do your stretches, folks. It's important.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're an artist, own a wrist brace for your drawing arm. Just
Mhm.
you don't use it all the time, but owning one is a good idea. Like if you start feeling your arm stiffening up, just sleep that night in the brace, and your life will be a lot better.
Ben,
It
you
hurt.
have a
Physical
story. Or the physical therapy, yes. Ben, you have a story. I remember this story about your wrist cramping up.
Oh yeah. So first first semester at CCS,
Mhm.
Center for Cartoon Studies, which has you doing a lot of drawing. We refer to the first semester as comic boot camp because you're putting out a lot of work really fast. And my drawing arm, like the entire forearm felt like rock hard, and I was like, oh man, I've built a lot of muscles from all this drawing. And that when around wintertime, the school actually brought in a massage therapist that specialized in wrists. So the idea was like, this is something that some people are going to get. They did it by random lottery. I got lucky. And this guy started doing a massage routine on my wrist, and the entire thing went completely noodly. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't muscle. That was pure strain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Early on in my comicking career, back in like 2013, I actually broke this wrist. And this is my drawing hand. So, yeah, after it was in a cast for a while, they were like, okay, start doing stretches and keep drawing because that's good physical therapy for your wrist, but do your stretches and wear a wrist brace if it starts to act up. And I'm like, okay, that's good to know. And I've been keeping up with that fairly regularly since then. I also have, I could probably grab those because they're behind me, but they're little like scrunchy wrist exercisers. Those are really, really good if you want to strengthen your grip on anything. Here, I'll go ahead and grab those. Talk salaciously while I'm away for a hot second.
I also had wrist problems. I was, we had 2 dogs, and we had those big extendable dog leashes that are kind of heavy. Just holding that loosely in my hand was enough to feel like all the bones in my wrist were pulling apart. So eventually, I was like, that's probably not good. I shouldn't have to wear a wrist brace every night to deal with the pain. So I eventually went to physical therapy and did the stuff. And I haven't had that problem since, but I'll go to physical therapy if it hurts.
I've been having the issue with my phone because I've been doing a lot of games on my phone. So holding my... first of all, I work on a laptop, so I'm always doing the 2-finger scrolling. And second of all, I do a lot of stuff on my phone with my index finger. And it's not so much like a problem with drawing, but I've been getting some weird sort of stress strain stuff in like the first knuckle of my first finger and my thumb. So I've been keeping an eye on that.
It's when you suddenly get into games that you can play with only your left hand.
Yeah. These things. This is what I was talking about. Is
Oh.
these things. Yeah, these are a really good way to like strengthen your wrists if you need to do that. You can get them in different tensions. This one is more on the like lighter side because I need to build my strength back up. But yeah, it's a very good way to like, you know, keep nimble and make sure that you don't strain yourself too much.
I need to get
my thesis here at CCS, I designated Sundays as like my day off where I wasn't allowed to do anything with my right hand because I'm right-handed. I was like, I can't draw. I can't like scroll on my computer. I can't use my phone. I have to do everything with my left hand. And that was almost inevitably the day when I would be like, oh, but I have this really cool idea for drawing something. So I actually started doing drawing with my left hand really big on large pieces of paper. And it's really interesting because I discovered that I can I do a lot of stuff that looks more like a child's drawing with my left hand. So sometimes I've had to, or haven't had to, but I've wanted to sort of emulate a childlike drawing style with some of my stories or a childlike writing style. Yeah. And I found that if I do it with my left hand, it comes out really looking very much like a child's drawing because the major difference is those fine motor skills, which I don't have in my left hand because I'm not left-handed. So
yeah.
And this is my mouse. It's a vertical mouse.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, specifically to help that wrist problem. I actually have a regular and this one, and the regular I use for gaming because this one's hard to get fine control on.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Angela and I had a classmate at CCS, JD Lunt, who started doing his pencils with his offhand. Do you remember that correctly?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he said he really liked that there was a kind of looseness to his pencils as a result, and then he could just fine-tune it with his dominant hand.
That's it.
Sadly, this is probably all still... Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say that's an interesting methodology. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's probably still better than my chicken scratch drawings or my handwriting with my dominant hand.
And that is why you're a writer.
Same with Abe, who you saw in the background. Cannot draw with beans.
Abe is the real cryptid of this stream.
Yes,
it's true.
You see him in the background, blurry.
Hiding behind a plant. Oh, that's great. It's even funnier because he can't hear us, so he doesn't realize that we're making fun of him.
And I know what he's doing. He's getting peanuts to feed the crows outside.
Experts are still divided on whether Abe really exists.
Also, just to throw it out there, because Ian's talking about limited art ability, but he is also he did animation a lot in college with stop motion.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
That's you feel like making yourself cry. Just give him the stop motion.
Yeah, he's asked me before if I want to help him with stop motion projects, and I'm like, no, I don't. I'll do it if you ask me nice. But he did a great video of making his thesis project, which was a stop motion animation where he did a time lapse camera up in the corner of him working, and there are at least 3 breakdowns you can see over the course of several months.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Stop motion is not super easy to do. It's intensely rewarding when it's done, but
I don't do stop motion, but I have done a lot of 2D animation. And one of the things I one time did the math and I was like, okay, if I were to do I don't know, a 5-minute short, I forget how many drawings, I forget the math, what it was, but I was like, okay, 5-minute short, 12 frames, 12 frames per second because it's on 24 frames, but you're doing it on 2s. I was like, I could literally write 5 graphic novels with that number of drawing.
Yep. It's kind of absurd. This is why animation studios have more than one artist at a time.
I will also say, I've gotten to meet a number of people whose specialty was animation, who then went to comics, and they are some of the most efficient cartoonists I've ever seen. They put out fantastic work and they can do it incredibly fast. If you are just starting out in learning a lot of this stuff, I highly recommend like starting with animation in some ways,
Yeah.
just because
That was
that
how
will
I
teach you
started.
the hardest part, and then everything else will be easier.
I've been learning to animate starting like last week, actually, specifically to get better at solid drawing and like making weight and stuff, and it's been working extremely quickly. Like, just been doing bouncing balls, flour sacks, and like that stuff builds your fundamentals quick.
Oh yeah. I do recommend New Frame Plus on YouTube. He talks about animation in the spectrum of video games, but he does talk a lot about the principles of animation and how they're employed in video games. Highly recommend. He also did a video about how they did the look of games like Guilty Gear Xr'd and Dragon Ball Fighters, which is how I discovered his channel. He was also the former narrator for Extra Credits. But you can't tell because in Extra Credits, his voice was sped up in chipmunky. But in New Frame Plus, he actually talks in his normal voice.
I used to love Extra Credits. I'll be right back. I need to grab my charger.
Go for it.
Another YouTuber who's interesting to look at in a similar vein is a guy named Sugar Punch. He does a series called ABI Tutorials.
Okay.
And he specializes in fighting games too and talking about the animation of them. My favorite thing of his is watching him completely dunk on, is it NetherRealm Studios, the people who do Mortal Kombat and Injustice, because he, like, I don't know if you've seen any of these modern games, but their animation is really, really bad.
It's not stellar.
But he talks about, like, he breaks out what's wrong with it, what could be fixed, compares it to other stuff. Like, he knows good animation and it's interesting. And he's not dunking on them to dunk on them. He's just like, this is something people need to understand why this is a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the kinds of critiques that I can like get behind, are the people who are like, look, I know this thing and this thing really annoys me and I need to tell you why this annoys me and what you can learn from this.
Yeah. He also talks a lot about storytelling in fighting games, which I actually find a really interesting subject.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was the name of that channel again for folks who might be interested in checking it out?
I believe Sugar Punch. I'm looking it up now.
Okay.
But it's ABI Torial is the channel. Alpha Bravo Indigo Torial.
Okay, nice. Also, thank you for doing the like military code spelling for that.
Yeah, I work customer service. I'm used to having to do that with a lot of stuff.
I want to highlight this comment in the chat. Abe takes the most amazing pictures of birds. He's sure they must be able to talk to them. Yet more compelling evidence of Abe being a cryptid.
Cryptid. Yep.
Yes.
If you want to follow him on Instagram, it's Abe Olsen Photo. O-N, not E-N.
I dropped a link to Sugar Punch, by the way, in the private chat.
Oh, in the private chat. Cool. Here, I will post that in the public chat.
Yep.
I apologize. I got to drop here. I've got some tiny humans I can hear. I might have to help my wife get them into nap time here. So
it's all good.
Bye, everybody.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us, Ian.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
I find it very funny that this platform decided that only the leader, like, people watching can post in the comments. The person running the stream can post in the comments, but I don't think the rest of us can.
Wait, can you post in the comments? Oh, wow, you
I think
can.
you have to log in.
Oh, that's how you're doing it. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
That's why.
Sorry, Jessica wanted to ask Angela how. Here we go. Angela, how is your recovery going?
Much better. I'm almost completely healed. I had a tonsillectomy 3 weeks ago.
Time is irrelevant.
Yeah, right? Oh, man. Much, much, much better. It still hurts when I yawn, but I'm eating real food. I am so sick of ice cream. At one point, I ate a large bowl of gravy.
Yeah. You know what, though? Of all the things that you could eat that are not ice cream, gravy is the good avenue.
It was not bad. Yeah, it was a big bowl of turkey gravy from Hagen.
Nice.
I wonder if stuff like Soylent would be good after a tonsillectomy.
I mean, is it liquid?
Yeah.
Then yeah. I like
Wait,
mashed potatoes.
are you telling me there's
thick.
an actual food product that calls itself Soylent?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You knew me while I was on a Soylent diet.
Oh, Raynor.
That's why I had to do a double take because, like, I know the meme of Soylent.
It's
Yeah.
a
Soylent
Silicon
Green.
Valley thing, right? They came
Yeah,
up with it for the developers, so they didn't have
what
to
it-
like spend time chewing.
It was during the Center for Cartoon Studies first year final project. It was so hard that I just didn't have time to cook, so I just bought a ton of Soylent and
I mean,
then
it is
ate
a
nothing but
complete-
Soylent.
It's like a complete nutrition thing, right?
Yep. I added maple syrup to every bottle, though. Of course,
Okay.
just poured in
Because-
maple syrup.
Because Vermont.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Like, okay, the maple syrup was unnecessary. I found out eventually, but like, Soylent's not bad. It's actually pretty good.
I had
I
no
was-
idea that
it's-
was a real thing.
It's
I
the
didn't
name
know
that we're
either.
laughing at because,
Yeah.
I mean,
Soylent Green.
Yeah.
I've never. I don't even know what that's from. But
It's
I
from
know
the
the
movie
meme.
Soylent
It was-
Green.
it was
Yeah.
Like,
literally
there's a movie,
called
Soylent
Soylent
Green.
Okay.
Watch
Yeah.
it. It's great.
It's so weird. I just have to say that the twist of that movie is that Soylent Green is people, but anytime anyone knows Soylent Green, it's because
Spoilers.
Soylent Green is people. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
I'm joking.
twist ending.
It's like Rosebud, which I'm
Yeah.
not gonna spoil if you don't know it, but I feel like everyone knows what
Mhm.
Rosebud is at this
Yeah.
point.
Another property that got ruined by spoiling the ending is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Like the
Yep.
reveal that they are the same person is the twist ending.
I will say it's really cool that the way that future movies did it, where instead of having a twist out of it, they just have that be known through the entire thing.
Rosebud is made out of people.
Rosebud is made out of people. Wow, that would be a great version of that movie.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, Kelsey, are you an overly sarcastic Productions fan by any chance?
Yes.
Yes.
I
Okay.
love-
awesome. They're very good.
Yes,
Yeah.
more OSP fans.
OSP.
They're my favorite YouTube channel probably. They're very good.
They did an April Fool's drop that's just nothing but Cleo the cat.
I haven't
I
seen
haven't
it yet.
That sounds great.
Oh,
Cleo
I
is
love
the
that channel.
OSP cryptid.
Yeah, they're very good. Rosebud is the
Rosebud is the people we ate along the way.
That actually is very much in line with that movie.
oh my god, that's so out of me.
This is why I'm friends with Carlos.
Yeah, I feel like at some point Carlos and I need to hang out because we have very similar wrong sense of humor.
Oh my god, you two would get along like gangbusters.
I'm just picturing you in the corner like, what have I done?
No, we need to get together. If conventions resume like being a thing, and if I can get a spot at AwesomeCon, like we should totally have a spot to promote our Cryptid Anthology, and like Ben and Carlos and me and whoever else can make it. Like it's in the DC area, so anybody who can make it to DC, like we should totally make it a thing.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough order for a lot of people, but I mean, I'll do it. I have family in Virginia. It's pretty easy for me to to go to Virginia, then take the train up and down.
So we're all gonna go stay with you and your family.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard too.
I'm willing to sleep in a closet.
I'm just picturing
There.
I'm just picturing Andrew and Ian sleeping for like 15 hours because there are no kids around.
Oh my god, yes.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, like I'm not sure that I'm going to be doing conventions this year. I still need to schedule my appointments to get my shots. At least I have my flu shot.
Whoa.
So I know that whatever is going on here, it's not the flu.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been waiting on that, but also not leaving my apartment.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I work at the library 3 days
Yeah,
a week.
that'll do it. Yeah, so as soon as possible.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are opening general admission on the 15th for us here in California. So
Same in Washington.
hopefully I will get it around that time.
Woo.
Yeah, I actually, the reason I'm back in Columbus is because I got my first Pfizer shot on Tuesday.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really easy. Just, drive up and they give you the shot through the window. It was weird hanging the butt out the window for the shot, but you know.
Wait, did someone just leave?
Oh no!
I think Ariane, her internet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's funny
goes
because
through that.
Raynor's on the same internet.
Oh no, she's just, not here.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also, fun fact: my follow-up appointment is on 420, so I'm going to ask him if I can smoke my shot instead of having to actually.
Nah.
Of course you are.
I will not actually ask them that because they'll have gotten that question 50 times that day.
Oh, I'm sure.
On the 420th time, it becomes funny again.
Yes. Carlos brought up Awesome Con applications are open. So.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm thinking about it. I'm also a little paranoid about going to DC right now. Like, I know that's probably going to be stupid by then, but like some stuff went down. I'm just going to say.
I don't think that fear is unwarranted.
That's fair. That's fair. Or 68 times. 420, 68.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll add Arian back to the stream as soon as her connection or their connection resumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told my one of my friends that the reason they gave me the follow-up appointment on 420 is because I accidentally handed them my fake ID where my name is #YellowSwipeMoney. Which would be a great fake ID to have. I would love that.
Oh, fake IDs made me think of OK Cryptid, which is the thing we were talking about a second ago.
We're doing book plates. I'm getting my tongue twisted. As one of the flex gold tiers, and we've been discussing different kinds. One of the ones we've discussed is making a fake dating site profile for the cryptids, and the site's called OK Cryptid.
Yes. Which I am all for.
Yes.
Pretty cute.
Yeah, we're talking about doing having an option maybe for for more traditional illustrations, and then OK Cryptid, which is going to be funny.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just so everybody knows, we are at 15 minutes to 2. I could keep going until 2 o'clock, but it's up to y'all how long you want to keep going.
Let's go until the Kickstarter's funded.
You joke, but I mean, we're doing pretty well.
No, we are like practically at 50%. Again, how did that happen? That is
People like
amazing.
us.
Great.
People like us. It's always like it's always a trip to like watch the Kickstarter bar go until you hit your goal, and then once you hit your goal, you're like, okay, everything else is like
You unclench.
Your jaws unclench. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, unclench your jaw. Yeah. We were talking about stretching wrists and shoulders earlier. Remember to unclench your jaw.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
You know, part of what's fun is I can go over the dashboard and look what's popular. So it is kind of fun seeing what people are backing and what is working so far.
You mean like the reward levels that they're backing at?
Yeah. Or the different things that people are going after, which add-ons people are grabbing.
Mm-hmm.
At least one person has gotten an extra book copy, which I was really happy to see start happening.
Ooh.
Heck yeah.
The mystery bags seem to be pretty popular.
Good.
Nice.
It is exciting.
Yes.
Yes.
Jessica posted, well, for me, there are 3 of my favorite artists in this book, and the artists are Kelsey, Ben, and Angela, and the artists that they keep talking about, so you all must be awesome, too.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Everyone involved in this project was incredible. It's been great.
Mm-hmm.
We also should probably mention one thing to keep an eye out for. We are going to be releasing regular draw in your style and coloring page challenges.
Yes. We will be doing that throughout the month of April.
That's right. First one we'll probably put up before the end of the weekend, so keep an eye out for that. Follow everyone's social media, and you'll see when it happens.
I'll signal boost those on the streams that I run with the creator interviews and be like, oh, by the way, we also have this draw this in your style or coloring book page challenge going on right now. More info in the doobly-doo.
We will be Vanna Whiting everything.
Vanna White!
Yes.
Did you know that she has her own brand of yarn?
Yes.
What? Yarn?
So
She
weird.
has a yarn brand. She apparently crochets.
They
Yeah.
carry Joanne's.
Mm-hmm.
But it blows my mind because I don't know that I've ever seen her wear anything knit. Like, she has a new outfit for every single episode.
Arian's back!
Hey!
Hey.
My internet went down, but it should be back now.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Hi.
Oh. Hey,
The true
okay,
true
Yeah,
cryptid
now we gotta go.
experience just blipped out of existence and then came
Yeah.
back.
yeah. Speaking of true cryptids, if any of you were wondering why I had a horrified look in my face earlier, there was a squirrel the size of a cat that walked by my window.
Nice.
Yeah.
On 2 legs or 4?
Whoa.
2 legs.
Four.
6.
Might
Um,
might have spotted a new cryptid, man.
oh, JD, you were saying something earlier. What were you saying? I feel like I interrupted you.
I don't think you did.
Okay, sorry.
I am being politely pulled away, so I will have to
All right.
bow out for here.
Great, well, great to
Well,
have you.
thank you for joining us, JD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice talking to everybody. Please support the Kickstarter. We're almost
Yeah.
halfway. I'm really impressed.
Yes,
Woo!
that's so cool. Oh,
Yes.
If
See you later.
one person
See you
buys
later,
top
dude.
level, we'll make goal.
yes,
Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And then we can actually pay the artists.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
that's the big perk.
Yes.
One of the things that Raynor and I have talked about, because we definitely are going to do more projects like this in the future.
Mhm.
One thing we'd really like out of this Kickstarter is to get a little bit of a nest egg so that maybe we can actually pay people before doing the Kickstarter or get a jump start on the next Kickstarter project where it's like, we're already going to be printing the books. We just want to be able to print more.
Yes. Also, just saw the comment 15-pound rabbit. Jeez.
A 15-pound rabbit. A buddy of mine just sent a picture of a 15-pound rabbit in his garden.
Ah.
That's a
Wow.
That's the Easter Bunny.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's the
literally.
Easter
I was
Bunny.
about to say, I was like, that'd be good eating. I'm like, wait, no, that's the Easter
That's him.
Bunny.
Like that's
Yeah,
Mhm.
God. I mean, Easter was yesterday, right? So, yeah.
No,
it's
Easter's
time.
tomorrow.
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 Easter's tomorrow.
Is it?
Good
Yesterday
Friday
was
was
Good
yesterday.
Friday,
Always
which
Sunday.
is related, but
Mhm.
Easter's tomorrow.
Yeah. No, this past week was Passover.
Right.
Yes.
I
yeah,
did know
which-
that.
Which, happy Passover to all of my Jewish friends and all of my
Mhm.
Jewish watchers. I hope that you made it through okay, because part of Passover involves not eating bread.
You can
Yeah.
eat matzah.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically, yeah.
When I was at Kenyon, I had a lot of friends who were in Hillel, and one of the things I learned is that there are a lot of really tasty matzah recipes if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I came across a recipe on TikTok of all places of how you can make flatbread at home, and it's like 3 ingredients, and one of them is Greek yogurt. And I'm like, I have got to try this at some point.
I make pizza crust out of Greek yogurt and flour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Abe's been making naan.
Oh,
So
nice.
good.
I made really weird unleavened bread by accident once by not having the bread rise, but it was really good because it was not kosher. It was from the D&D cookbook. If anyone following knows
Right.
that,
Hey,
elf bread. I
Yeah.
made elf bread, but I killed all the yeast like instantaneously because I thought you were supposed to boil yeast when it said put it in lukewarm water. So don't
Yeah.
do that. Apparently.
no, do not. No, the water
Instant
needs to
death.
be lukewarm, not boiling.
Yeah.
120.
Didn't you also
122
boil the
degrees.
milk on
Yes.
that too?
Yes, I did.
yeah.
I'm not good at cooking.
This sounds like the most disastrous bread.
But
One
it tasted
other
pretty
thing.
good.
One other
I
thing,
actually had a little of it. It came out really dense, but it was sweet,
it's
so
still
that
bread.
makes up for a multitude of problems.
one thing in Raynor's defense, and I actually did the same thing when I started bread making.
Hmm.
You started with a really complicated recipe.
Yes.
You
The
did.
best bread recipes are 4 ingredients, like flour, water, yeast, and salt. That's
I
it.
have to share this comment to circle it back around. Elf bread is made out of elves.
Elves are hard to buy. It's hard to buy an elf. I use cinnamon instead.
See, you hear about Lemnis bread. What they don't tell you is that Lemnis was the dude's name.
Or Oh my god! Okay, I just need to say quickly with that D&D cookbook, I love that like the elven bread is made by elves, the dwarven stew is made by stew, the halfling soup is made by orcs.
Out of halflings.
Oh man.
Yes, that is actually a thing. Surprisingly, several times throughout the book, they use turkey as a substitute for halfling. Like several species eat halfling, and I'm like, why turkey, not pig?
I know.
Why
I was gonna say
turkeys?
pig.
Hey, they got to be mindful of how much fat they're ingesting in their diet.
Oh.
I just realized if you did use pig, would you refer to eating halfling as short pig?
Oh my gosh.
Can you kick him out?
She can. They can, but do they dare?
Oh man.
No. There was actually a thing I remember just mentioning kosher stuff.
Yeah.
There was a thing I saw where on Binging with Babish, if anyone's familiar with that YouTube show, really fun cooking. But he was doing brisket, but was specifically trying to make it kosher. So he mentioned not using flour, which I didn't know was a thing. Apparently, in some versions of being kosher, yeah, you don't use flour, or for Passover specifically, you don't use
kosher for
flour at all.
Passover.
Mm-hmm.
But what was also interesting is I think he also made latkes and he added panko to them, and I'm like, wait, hold on, stop, because that's definitely leavened bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tried.
He tried.
Yep. I just had to take a peek at the Kickstarter. Like so far so good. 17 backers already.
Yeah.
So cool.
You know, that's about, so on both of the Kickstarters I've done, that would have been roughly half the number of people I'd gotten over a month. So
Yeah,
that is
but,
incredible that we got it in one day.
we're able to we're able to tie in all these people's awesome audiences with their awesome art, and all of you in the comments and watching are bring this together in a way that's just like, how?
Yeah.
This is really exciting.
Right action. I'm just like, oh god, that's
If you
so
can tell by
cool.
Raynor's reaction, this is his first Kickstarter that he is running.
Yes,
This is the first
correct.
Kickstarter I've ever been even remotely involved in. So it's
There you go.
This
Very
has definitely been a little bit of a weird anthology in that we've really tried to get everyone to be involved in the process as much as possible. Normally with anthologies, it's like a very, very small team at the top and everyone else is just a contributor. We've been trying to get our contributors really involved.
This really is a group effort.
Which is good because Raynor and I only kind of know what we're doing.
Hey.
I'm the tuxedo mask of Kickstarter.
Yes.
My job here is done. But you didn't do anything.
I saw a TikTok that perfectly encapsulated Tuxedo Mask's role, which was just woo. Just chuck a rose and then disappear.
Oh, Tuxedo Mask.
We love you, Carlos.
So one other thing that I will throw out there, because we don't have an exact date for it, but we've been talking about doing it. There is a gaming system called Monster of the Week that we've talked about running a game with some of our contributors for a stream. It's something that you will want to keep an eye out for. The whole idea behind Monster of the Week, if you've ever watched a Monster of the Week show like The X-Files or Supernatural or Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it's sort of like the role-playing version of that. And we have a bunch of gamers in the group, so we thought that would be a fun thing to try and organize at some point. So we're hoping to do a one-shot at some point.
Oh, heck
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, if any of you have watched Adventure Zone Amnesty, that.
Yes. Same system.
Yep.
Has anyone else done anything with the system?
I am currently in a Monster of the Week campaign. I am a player, so I've done quite a bit of Monster of the Week at this point. So
I am still fairly new to tabletop RPGs, and when I've recently rejoined Twitter, and the D&D and TTRPG communities of Twitter are like they're one of the nicest communities I've ever come across, which is
Really
like
cool.
weird. I didn't expect that on Twitter.
I get that.
Yeah, but like they've introduced me to like all kinds of TTRPGs. Also, a TTRPG that I've always wanted to play that I haven't had the chance to yet. It's called Laser Kittens.
Yes, I've seen the system.
Yes, you play a kitten at a foster home, and you have a special superpower, your laser that you fire off, and each laser has a different quality to it. So there's some lasers that are like pew pew pew, which is you make your litter box extra stinky, or like another laser.
Like that.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different lasers. Like there are some lasers that are like, oh yes, you are extra cute for the next 5 minutes, or you tear up everything that is in your path and stuff like that. It's an interesting system because you use playing cards rather than dice to determine your actions and to determine what happens next in the story. And I'm like, okay, I want to give that a try.
Nice.
I love Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite games.
It is probably my favorite board game.
Yeah. I started playing that with a group once. We ended up not finishing the game because we were playing at the comic shop at the time. But what we did play was a lot of fun. It's basically you go into a haunted house and you find eldritch horrors, and there are rooms that like you go into a room and then you turn and you leave and the room disappears. Stuff like that.
My favorite thing about Betrayal is that Betrayal is the story of Betrayal is different every single time because of the way that the system works, because basically your storyline is based on which items you find as you're going through the house.
Yeah.
So you get different antagonists, and usually by the end of the game, it's sort of like a versus thing where it's like 1 or 2 players versus everybody else in the team. Fun fact, I have won, I think, every Betrayal game I've ever played, whether or not I was the like betrayer or the on the side of the good guys. So I think everyone, either every single one or everyone except one. And my very first time I was the traitor, and I killed everybody in the house, and it was great.
That's awesome.
I haven't gotten to use it yet because of circumstances that have kept me from directly socializing with people. I wonder what that could be. But I recently got the expansion pack, like right before all of this. What's it called? Like the witches. It's like the witch's house or something like that.
Yeah.
And what it does is not only does it give you new scenarios, it adds an attic level.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other like little side things in there. So you basically just mix it in with the normal game and it's good to go.
Yep.
I've really wanted to try that out, and it's like, come on.
There is a card game talking about monsters. There is a card game that's like Monster Dungeon. Highly recommend. It's a lot of fun. But you basically play a Super Mario-esque boss, and the actual like game itself presents a hero to you trying to go through your dungeon, and it is your objective to put as many obstacles in the way of the hero as possible.
That's so much fun! Oh my gosh,
it's so fun.
I'm just picturing Ariane being like, "Why can't I kill these heroes?"
Hey, I will find a way. One of these days, you will not instantly murder my boss in the very first round. I will find a way.
Speaking of which, of RPGs, I just want to say, so far the plan seems to be for me to run Monster of the Week, and it's going to be fun if we do that.
Yes.
Because I have never played a Powered by Apocalypse game, and I have not finished reading the book, so it's going to be awesome.
I will tell you right now, as someone who has actually run Powered by the Apocalypse games before, it's first off, it's pretty easy to figure out the rules. They're not too complicated. Second off, you can always just fake it.
Yeah.
Like that's absolutely what I did. Like when I first started it was my first time DMing, and I absolutely was throwing stuff from D&D in there because I didn't read enough of the book to realize that initiative wasn't a thing. So I was like, "You rolled for the initiative," and they're like, "Wait, what? What are you talking about?" I'm like,
"Oh man,
initiative." But
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not tied to running that. It can be anybody. Ariane, you're on a road trip right now, so
Yeah. Yeah.
but I wanted to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
mean,
think it would be a great thing to do.
We should
I
totally
get the
do it.
impression with Powered by the Apocalypse systems, from what I have seen of Monster of the Week and what I have read of other Powered by the Apocalypse systems, it really seems like those systems are very like the GM can do whatever the hell they want, and the players are the ones who are limited.
Yes.
Especially because, like, I was reading through Monster of the Week because I'm potentially going to run a one shot for my players, or for the group I am currently playing with. We're going to switch out GMs. Keepers, as it's called, Monster of the Week. But I was reading through it, and one of the things it literally tells you is you as the keeper have certain moves you can do, but you're never supposed to use the names of those moves. Never tell the players that you are doing X thing in the mechanics. Just tell the story. So if you don't, if you forget which move you're allowed to make at this point, and you're just like, X thing happens at literally Monster of the Week, and I get the impression other Powered by Apocalypse systems are designed to just let you do that. They're very sort of keeper dependent, GM dependent.
Huh.
So
Where
Great.
the players have control, well, where they have power where it's not unlimited power for the keeper. Tends to be the keeper doesn't get to roll dice.
Yeah.
Anytime they try to do anything, the players sort of get to decide by rolling dice against it.
Yep.
It's kind of a clever, and the system is very straightforward. Any choice is based on 2d6 plus maybe a couple modifiers if you have them, but the modifiers are never more than like +3. The way it works is if you roll, that's off of memory. It's been a while.
No, you're correct. It's just that there
Okay.
are certain like advanced. If you're playing like a long running game and you get advanced stuff, there are points where you're like, I do 6 harm to the monster, and it's like,
right.
A
But
human being can only take 7.
But it works from so 2d6, that means it can roll anything between 2 and 12. 6 and below, you fail. 10 and above, you unequivocally succeed in what you were trying to do. 7 to 9, you get a partial success, which means that you get what you wanted, but there's a consequence. Most often,
is this a dice pool game? Because I know that there are some games that like you roll a d20 and that determines it, and there are some games that like there's a pool of dice, usually d6s, that you roll to determine stuff.
Every single choice is 2d6.
Is 2d6, yeah. So it's always your 2d6, but it can sort of like change things.
Okay.
Where I kind of take some issue with Powered by the Apocalypse, which is the name for the overall system.
It's
Monster
like
of
the
Week is one
underlying
variant on it.
math.
But the problem I had, I used Dungeon World, which is sort of their D&D equivalent of that. And it's kind of railroady in their character design. That's the one thing that's kind of frustrating, because their version of classes, you're basically given a sheet with a bunch of yes or no things you're picking, or just a handful of categories. It's the same as Monster of the Week. I'm describing it badly. I feel like Monster of the Week does it better, but
it's you have certain archetypes, and everyone can only pick one archetype, and then you pick like options within the archetype. Like my character for my Monster of the Week game is I'm the wronged, which means that somewhere deep in my deep sad past backstory, a monster killed a member of my family. Like that's the core base idea of the wronged, is someone killed someone you loved, and now you are like out to get vengeance on them, which means you automatically get a bonus to whatever kind of monster it is. Like if your family was murdered by vampires, you get a bonus when you're fighting vampires.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but then there are other ones like one of my fellows is playing the expert, which means she gets all these bonuses to when she's trying to learn something about the monster. And she's like super extra prepared for things about monsters because she took like a basically an option, a power that gave her the ability to be like roll in advance and be like, oh, did I prepare for this thing? But they're all like these big big archetypes, like these really broad categories, which is honestly really interesting to me, because I think that's something that's kind of lacking in stuff like D&D, is that it's often really hard to think about what is the character's trajectory, what's their archetype. But like with Monster of the Week, it's really, really clear, like the chosen one is the chosen one. So they were, they've got the grand ultimate destiny, and your trajectory, like your story arc, is either you fulfill your ultimate destiny or you don't. Those are your options. Like as the wronged, your story arc is either you kill the monster that killed your loved one, or you don't, and you probably die in the attempt.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of movement in that archetype system where, the example I'm thinking of, because you mentioned The Chosen, one of the most popular streamed version of this game was the Adventure Zone Amnesty, which was mentioned earlier. One of the guys in there is playing a character named Duck Newton, who's a forest ranger is the Chosen, and he's completely playing against type through the entire thing.
He's a reluctant
really
hero.
good at it. He's a reluctant hero, and they do a very good job with that. Like, there's a lot of openness. In Dungeon World, it's not archetypes in the same way as it is classes, which is where it really does not work as well. Like, imagine those same things, but controlling being able to cast spells and stuff like that. It's messy.
Before we continue, I did see in the private chat, Andrew's going to need to leave here in a minute.
Yeah.
But it was great having you.
Hungry kids.
Yeah.
So, no, I just wanted to say before I left, this has been awesome. This is the first Kickstarter experience, first published art, all this stuff. So this has been absolutely fantastic. So I appreciate the invite to be a part of this. I've tried to help out any and all steps of the way. Looking forward to see where this goes. And so I'll keep an eye out for the interviews. Ian and I will do that together.
Sweet.
Looking forward to the roads ahead. We've been at it for 2 hours, and it's been I've been refreshing.
This is longer than just about any stream I've done in a while. It's great. One thing I want to throw out there, Andrew, you're also awesome. Like, you've been doing so much stuff.
Yes.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm happy to help. This has been really cool for me. So anything that I could do to help move things along, I was definitely on board for. So
heck yeah, you've been super
I will
helpful, dude.
definitely keep talking to you guys in the Discord and all that, and I will see you guys live streaming myself, you guys as well. So
I will keep you posted on an interview with you and Ian. So keep an eye out for that.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your lunch.
Bye.
Oh, goodness. Alrighty. 5 left.
Death match.
I am probably gonna have to leave at some point here pretty soon. But
we're probably at a
little bit
decent point.
left.
To call it.
I think we're at a good point to call
goodbye
it.
to Andrew, but let's all leave.
Let's all say goodbye.
Just as a final note, the Kickstarter currently stands at looks like $718 out of $1,500 for the minimum goal raised. That's 17 backers, and we did that in just over 2 hours. So that is pretty impressive start.
That's awesome.
So good.
Kickstarter Royale.
Kickstarter Royale. I mean, pay us enough, sure.
We'll name each other, not kill each other.
No, we'll do a Kickstarter Royale as like a stretch goal.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you give us $200,000, I will punch one of the contributors in the face with their consent. We can punch each other.
You know what would be really cool, actually, would be to do a oh man, we did this at CCS. There was a fighting game fun thing.
The
my
Ron fighting
people.
game. Yes.
Where we basically we designed a character, then we were told that we were doing a deathmatch battle royale, and we had to draw 2 fighting moves for them, and they just randomly get posted, and we decide as a group who won.
That was very fun.
An elimination bracket.
Yeah.
We should do that. That would be fun.
Are you sure you don't want to make a stream a boxing match between me and Ben?
Kickstarter Royale with cheese.
What do I call a Whopper? I can go to Burger King.
Checking his wallet. Stretch goal.
No, but this has been great, and this is such a good group of people, and y'all are gonna love the book. Oh my god!
Yes.
It's such a good
book.
book.
Looking so
This
good
book
from
is
what
looking
I've
like it is
seen.
going to be amazing.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we should totally, like, I'm not joking. We should totally have a battle royale-esque, like, stretch goal.
Yes.
That would be
Yeah.
fun, honestly.
You know what? We could. There's a new app on through Google.
Oh yeah,
the
that draw
whiteboard
thing.
like thing. Yeah, where you can like have just basically a big whiteboard and everyone can draw at the same time.
Ooh,
Like we could do some interesting stuff with that.
we could.
Ideas.
Jam comics.
Jam.
Oh
I
man.
have used Jamboard. That's what it's called.
Jamboard.
I have
There you
used Jamboard to do a jam comic, but it was a little awkward because it turned out I was the only person in the this was just during a Columbus meetup with other cartoonists, and it turns out I was the only cartoonist who had a pen tablet. So I felt like I was cheating.
And we have so many digital artists here. I mean, who doesn't have a tablet at this point?
Yeah, like you're the only one who did traditional for the comic, and you have a tablet.
I do, yeah. Because
Mhm.
I do digital pencils.
Yeah.
So yes, I guess technically I also used Clip Studio.
Still though, whatever tools that you use to help make your comic vision a reality.
Yeah, there is no wrong way to make a comic.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's one of the great things about comics.
Mm-hmm. It is now 2:15. Do we want to call it here for now?
Yes, this is a good place to end.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Check out our Kickstarter, Less Than Secret, a Cryptid Comic Anthology. The link is on the screen at the bottom. Everybody's social media links are on YouTube. Check the description on YouTube to check out everybody's social media links and websites and stuff. We also have a QR code at the corner. If you're able to read QR codes, check that out. It'll take you directly to the Kickstarter page. And Carlos is applause all around. And Jessica says, this has been awesome. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining us. Any send-offs or any final words before I wrap this up?
Just a reminder that we will be doing, at the very least, we should be doing live streams on this channel you said Thursday and Saturday at 1 Eastern.
Thursday, Saturdays, 1 p.m. EDT, unless a artist cannot make that time slot, in which case I will keep folks posted on social media and on my website. And also on the Kickstarter updates. We need to post Kickstarter updates and let people know when artists are being interviewed.
Yes.
I'm very tempted to just post one when we reach half that's just the word
That sounds about right. On
that note, as my final thing I want to say is just everyone who's pledged, thank you so much. This book is going to be so cool, and every dollar really does help. And it'll help us make future anthologies too. And this has just been a wonderful project, and we know you're going to love the book so much.
Yes.
Yeah, it has been just completely awesome working on this thing.
I will say this is one of the smoothest team experiences I've ever had working on a project. Yeah.
Cool. If there's anything you don't like about it, tell us later.
It's just and off camera.
Just me. Yeah. Okay.
I don't need to hear it.
Oh man. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Matthew says, "Good luck, y'all."
Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
All righty. Thank you so much for watching. You are awesome.
Rock on, guys, and never